With the holidays approaching, it's that time of year to go home to your family and suffer the shame that they have for you because you aren't more successful. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn some bass ukulele stuff that you can learn in like 20 minutes, essentially, to make it seem like you've mastered a skill to play some Christmas music. We're also doing it on this amazing Martin T1 ukulele. Owning an actual Martin ukulele on the scale of making it seem like you're actually successful falls somewhere between having a Disney Plus subscription and having a Tesla. So first of all, we're going to do all these in the key of G. We're going to learn 3 songs, 3 simple songs that aren't so simple that like any 8-year-old could play it. And we're also going to learn a riff, okay? They're all going to be in the people's key, the key of G. So first thing we have to do is just learn a few basic chords. The great thing is this isn't like a comprehensive ukulele lesson. This is just learning the hits. We're not even going to learn B minor, which is a chord in the key of G. Just the hits. Hits only right here. All right, so a G on a ukulele is a D major shape from a guitar, okay? Mind blown already. Already seems like you're doing something expensive. Okay, so middle finger on the 2nd fret of the highest string. I'm just, for the sake of time, string 1, 2, 3, 4, right? G, C, E, A. Giant children eat animals. That's how I remember the strings of ukulele. String 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people might want to number it backwards. We don't have time for them. There's no time. We got to get onto it. So middle finger, 2nd fret on the 4th string. Ring finger, 3rd fret on the 3rd string. Pointer finger, 2nd fret on the 2nd string. This is going to be our money chord. This chord is where everybody makes the money on a ukulele, right? This is a G chord, all right? Now, the next chord we're going to do is the easiest one of all time, C major. You just use your ring finger, go straight down to the 4th string, 3rd fret. A lot of these are going to be very contextual, right? So efficiency is key. We're going to go from G to C a lot here. So get that move down. Next one is D major, all right? This one is going to be the 2nd fret on strings 1, 2, and 3, and open on the 4th string. Now, another thing that you might see in chord charts and stuff is a D7. In fact, you can always, in the key of G, replace D major chords with D7 chords. That's just 2, open, 2, open. Okay, so we're going to be going back between this D and this D major. All right, so these are the main 3 chords that we're going to be using. All right, another one you want to have under your belt is A minor, just the 2nd fret on the 1st string, open all the way. And then another one that we're going to want to know is G7. All right, so anytime you see a 7 chord, you can always just play the letter in front of it and you'll be fine, right? Like if you see on a chord chart something that goes G to G7, you can just stay on that G instead of going to G7. But anyways, let's get right to the songs. Number 1 that you're going to want to learn is Jingle Bells. If you know how to play Jingle Bells, it's like, all right, you've established a baseline of playing ukulele. We're going to do 2 more after this, but start with Jingle Bells because you kind of hit that baseline requirement that you actually are being successful in life, all right? So, Jingle Bells in the key of G. Let's get it going. There's 2 parts, right? It starts on a G here. This is the strumming pattern. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Now, counting this out is really important. So musical counting is the number 1 skill that you need to have that a lot of people don't spend enough time on. But a bar would be like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and do, 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 do. Da, 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 C, right? All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2nd bar. 3rd bar, then 2C, A minor, D7, D7, G. Okay, so here we got G. Stay on G for all those bars. Count it out, play along. You don't even have to necessarily strum. Just hit the chord and then sing the song. Then go to the C, and then the 2nd line, I like doing them in kind of like chunks. A minor, D7, see, contextually, ring finger 2nd fret on that 3rd string. Then you're laughing all the way back to G. Okay, so if any of these are hard to do, think of the efficiency, all right? Going from this D7, D7 on ukulele will almost always be followed by G, okay? So that's why when you have your ring finger on that second fret of that third string, you just slide that there and then have it come over, right? It's all about efficiency. Everyone knows. Your father will be impressed that you have adopted efficiency into your lifestyle. No more shame. No more feeling shame. But that's the main first part of Jingle Bells, right? So G, 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 C, A minor, D7, D7, then G, then back to G. Same thing, right? This repeats back to C, then A minor, D, D7, G, D7. All right, the only thing that changed there was instead of staying on that G, we hit him with the quick D7, which always means we're turning around to the chorus. So back to G. G, then C to G. C, 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 G, G, G. Back to A minor, then D7. G, 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 C, then G. C, 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 G, 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 D7, then to G. Okay, so let's recap just the chorus, because honestly, you could probably just hit him with the chorus, and that's enough to be like, all right, you've done something this year. Please stop. So if you have to learn one part, just learn the chorus, right? So here's Jingle Bells, G. It's really just G, then C to G, then C to G, A, D. Okay? So G, C, G, C, G, A minor, D, brings you back to G, C, G, then, oh what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh, right? So right there, you've got them. You've got everybody's attention, okay? You've learned Jingle Bells. You've done something with your life, aside from blowing Grandpa's inheritance on crypto. that got real. I got real quick right there. So let's honor your fallen crypto earnings portfolio. Unless you're an Ethereum buyer, that's up. Why am I talking about it? Let's go to Silent Night. Silent Night, beautiful song. It's a waltz. I would say if anybody is thinking of a medley, Silent Night's a great way to close it quick. Like if you're in a position where people are like, all right, well let's just play Christmas songs for a while. Be like, you know, I'm kind of feeling tired. I'm gonna hit you with some Silent Night. Silent Night sounds like this. Super easy, you know all these chords already. C, G, D, D7, G. Here's a new one, E minor. Oh my gosh. And that's the whole thing, all right? So we're gonna break this into smaller parts. The main difference here is the strumming. Instead of Jingle Bell style, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is a waltz. This is why we're rocking that baby to sleep right now. Rock the baby. This is what we're doing here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. You'll notice sometimes I'm using like my nail, like the down with my pointer finger and up with my thumb. Usually using your nail kind of has a sharper attack than using the pads of like your thumb up, down. Small difference, but again, we're trying to impress friends and family this holiday season. So have a couple speeds. Nail speed, pad speed. All right, so we're gonna start on G again. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, D, 2, and 3, D7, 2, and 3, G, 2, and 3, G7, 2, and 3. So I want to talk about these dominant 7 chords real quick, all right? So here's D to D7, and here's G to G7. Again, G7 is just 2, 1, 2 on the second, third, and fourth strings, just like a D to a D7 would be on a guitar, all right? So D, D7, G, G7. Again, those dominant 7 chords are optional, but they do add a lot. They impress more and more people. And you'll notice that in Christmas songs or any song written before 1960, dominant 7 chords are all the rage. Those early 1900s writers, they were just vibing hard on dominant 7 chords, right? So again, G to D is essentially all we have going on right now for the first part. G, 2, and 3, G, 2, and 3, G, 2, and 3. That's 4 bars. 2, there's D, or D to D7, then G to G7, C, C, G. Then that repeats. C, C, G, G, D, D7, G, E minor. Here's a new one, okay? All right? If you've ever played ukulele, you see that E7 is, or E minor. Can be one of the trickier ones when you're first starting out, because from the 4th string down, it's 2, 3, 4, right? It's like, oh, how do I get from these to yeah, that's a kind of a tough one, right? Think about a G chord right here, and then just put your pinky on that 2nd string 4th fret, okay? So G to E minor instead of G to E minor. It's a lot easier doing it that way, right? So the last part of Silent Night is that D, D7, G, E minor, G, D, G. That's the whole thing. And then there's just different verses, however many verses you need to rock that naughty baby to sleep, right? Let's review it one more time. So we've got G, 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 D, D7, G, G7. Play it slower, we're just blowing through it. C, C, G. That repeats. C to G. Think of this as like the middle part, right? Then the tag, D, D7, G, E minor, 1 chord, G to the 5 chord, D, G. There it is, Silent Night. You're done. You rocked the baby to sleep. And then maybe if some of the older people in the family are still up, now it's time where you hit them with the good stuff. White Christmas, okay? Again, this is in my experience, in my many years of pretending to impress people with my mad ukulele skill. White Christmas is, I think, the kind of showstopper, right? So, same chords, rocking around in the key of G, but we're gonna add a couple twists. So here we go, White Christmas. Back in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, D, C, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4, G. So let's just talk about that first part, okay? We're almost kind of halfway done with the song if you think about it. It's super easy. That's why you guys need a Martin ukulele. Speaking of the ukulele, this is just like the Streetmaster one. These are made in Mexico, really good guitars. The bag, the gig bag. How awesome is this gig bag? Come on, get out of here. Get out of here, Martin, with your awesome gig bags and ukuleles, etc. All right, so the first part, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, just a 2nd fret, back to D, C, then A minor to a G. Okay, so remember we're back in 4 now. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and A minor to D or D7 optionally. C, do, 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 A minor, back to G. You want to get fancy? Add your pinky on that 3rd fret. making it a G sus4. Now if you haven't impressed your family yet, suspended chords on a ukulele, come on. Yet another money shot. Alright, so all the cool stuff you can do in the key of D on a guitar, you can do it, but now you're in G on a uke, right? So again, we got that G, A minor, D part, then C, A minor, G. Alright, usually these really aren't that hard to memorize once you think of them in chunks. After that, where are we? Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear the sleigh bells in the snow. you gotta do a Bing Crosby impersonation. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Then go to C, A minor, G. If this were the modern day, I'd be canceled because I'm Bing Crosby. Then G, E minor in the snow, A minor, D. Alright, so not so bad. That's pretty much the whole song except for the end of it. Alright, G, A minor, D7, C, A minor, G, then where the treetops glisten, think of G, glisten. This is how I remember. I just make like little cheats forever. The treetops glisten and children listen. What is that? Here's a curveball. So we're just sticking on the C. You can just play the C the whole time, but technically the main song goes to a C minor. Right? I think that's an important part of the song. I mean, come on, this is children listening. Goes to minor, of course, because we know that's a lie. These kids, your cousins or nephews aren't gonna listen to you around Christmas time. They're all hopped up on sugar and Fortnite, or Minecraft, or TikTok. C minor is just a D chord, diagonal down, so it's open 3, 3, 3. Really easy to do C minor, C to C minor. It's called a minor 4 chord for those music theory buffs out there. But anyways, C to C minor, then G, sleigh bells. There's that E minor trick we talked about before, right? To hear the sleigh bells in the snow. D7, what did we say before? What comes after D7 every single time in the history of music? Back to G. D, the 5 chord, G, A, B, C, D. 5 chord always leads you back to 1, unless there's some precious indie pop art band exception that gets crazy with secondary dominance. Don't worry about that, right? So, the only change for this is if you're tagging the "May all your Christmases be white." It's the same thing. That last line, remember, was G, E minor, A minor to D, right? Instead of, and may all your Christmases be white. So that's kind of like a run that we have at the end, right? So let's go through that real quick. May all your Christmases be white, all right? May G, E minor, A minor, D be white. All right, I almost played it wrong. G, E minor, A, D, G. Okay, so that's the only thing you have to remember. So let's go through both ways, starting at the beginning. G, dreaming of A minor, D7, C like A minor, then to G, fancy suspended 4. Where the treetops, G7, and the children, remember they don't listen because it goes to minor, to G, E minor in the snow. Turn it around back home from the D7 to G. I'm dreaming of A minor Christmas. With every Christmas card I write. More like a Christmas text. Nobody sends Christmas cards anymore. Come on. May your days be merry and bright. Minor. And may all your Christmases be white. There you go. So that's That's it. You've already impressed it. Now, if you really want to add a little riff to the end, little throwback here. This is just a little riff that we're going to add that you can actually end any of these songs in, because all these songs we've done in the key of G. So now we're going to add a little riff. All right, think of it as tabs on a guitar. 4th string, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, 3 on the 3rd string, 5 on the 3rd string, and 2. You can play those over a G chord. So, any of those songs you can end, but now you have enough information to make your family think you're not as much of a failure as, you're not a failure. Forget it. You're watching the Sean Daniel YouTube channel. You're hanging out with us and the Martin ukulele. You've got this sweet gig bag. I think you're winning. I'm proud of you. I don't care what your parents say. Keep it up. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, and make sure to click the link in the description in case you're interested in one of these ukuleles, because I think they're awesome. They're just like the Streetmaster guitar that I use a lot, that Martin gave me ever since I went to their factory. These are made in their Mexico factory. Fantastic. Give them my stamp of approval. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up, and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot.